Hi, everybody. This is Daniel Hutchins, and today we're doing another live stream. This is just a 6 o'clock hour live stream. But yeah, guys, I'm going to be doing some Marvel Insider, and I'm going to visit comic book resources. So, okay, let's check Marvel Insider. Okay, so I'm still at the same level. I have 39,600 additional points to maintain level and 13,000 reward points. Now, last time I was on was the 22nd. Now, I know that was a few days ago, but yeah, we're going to see if they updated it or not. If not, then we're going to go to CBR. Okay, so nothing under the recent. Check the comics. Um, Now some of these activities I've did multiple times on Marvel Insider, but I think like the link is broken. So, okay, so now since it's the start of another new week, I'm going to be telling you what are the comic books that are coming this week. So, okay, so we have X Deaths of Wolverine, The Marauders Annual #1, Mary Jane and the Black Cat Beyond #1, Devil Reign Winter Soldier #1, Avengers Forever #2, Luke Cage and the City of Fire #2, Black Panther #3, Devil Reign #3, Captain America and Iron Man #3, Star Wars The High Republic Trial of the Shadows #4, Doctor Strange The Death of Doctor Strange #5, X-Men #7, Iron Man #16, Thor #21, Amazing Spider-Man #87, She-Hulk #1, Ex-Wife's Wolverine #1, Silver Surfer Rebirth 1, Ben Riley Spider-Man #1, Death of Doctor Strange X-Men Black Knight #1, Silk #1, Devil Reign X-Men #1, Devil Reign Villain for Hire #1, Hulk #3, Phoenix Song Echo #4, Venom #4, Defenders #5, Moon Knight #7, Eternals #9, Star Wars and the High Republic #13, Strange Academy #15, Star Wars Doctor Aphra #18, Miles Morales Spider-Man #34, Avengers #52, and Amazing Spider-Man #86. Yeah, that is a lot of books. Yeah, that's more books than other weeks. So yeah, that's pretty good. Um, as you probably noticed with some of the comic books that they're relaunching for the year of 2022, they're actually doing a really great job on most of them, actually. Now, I don't actually, quote unquote, own any of those per se, but from what I've been reading from many, many fans across the web, they say that they're very, very, very good. So, you know, you got to listen to your your friends of the comic book community when they, tell you something's good. You have to believe it's good. Okay, so we're gonna still check to see if there is some things. Now I already checked comics. Um, I can't do under anything under Marvel games. So okay, so I know that doesn't really seem that much, but I just checked in to see what the comic books were this week, and there was a ton of comic books. I'm hoping February they'll post more, but we'll see in about 6 or 7 days. Hopefully they'll update it, but we don't know. We can't. Fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed. Maybe we might get some updates on Marvel. Okay, so now we're going to CBR, Comic Book Resources. For those who don't know what CBR stands for, that's what it stands for. Okay, so we are going to go down under feature stuff and see if we can find something we did not talk about. Now, I know I mentioned some of it, but there's probably some that has been added. Okay, so we're going to be talking about. Actually, first, let's talk about something that's video game related. Okay, guys, so if you guys remember back in the day that there was a Nintendo 64 game called Banjo Kazooie. Now, if you ever owned Banjo Kazooie, it has quietly became the Nintendo 64 most scariest game. Now, it is available now to play on the online store from Nintendo Switch. Now, if you guys have a Nintendo Switch, also leave that down in the comments. I want to know how good they are and if they're worth buying. Okay, so Nintendo continues the trend, the add to the library, with the 1998 cult classic Banjo Kazooie, which has been added to the expansion pack. Developed by Rare Gamers, this was introduced after the success of Diddy Kong Racing. Now, it came out around the same year as Diddy Kong Racing, also making it one of the most popular 64 games back in the day. Now, 3D platformers have definitely went over the edge with this new thing. So, again, yeah, if you know anyone who's played Banjo Kazooie, also leave that down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts and if you think Nintendo Switch actually made a wise choice about bringing it back. Okay, that's all about that. So let's go to CBR exclusive. There's probably a ton of exclusives. Okay, guys. All right. So yeah, we are gonna see if they expanded the universe and what is going on with the universe. Okay. So yeah. So now we're going to be talking about the Black Panther from comics. Okay, Black Panther from comics has something that said Black Panther Spellbound, which is an exclusive excerpt which sets up a chilling new mystery. Some exclusive excerpts from the Black Panther Spellbound. T'Challa has experienced a dream where he spells trouble out for his friends in Alabama. Yeah, this is pretty interesting. So, T'Challa would one day be the king of Wakanda, but for now he was the young prince of Black Panther Spellbound. This was a follow up from 2018. Now, if you remember reading Black Panther in 2018, also leave a comment below. Okay, so Black Panther Spellbound picks up the events from Young Prince, which, again, don't confuse that with the TV show. And again, T'Challa visits his friends on, on summer break in Alabama. And however, their summer was interrupted by this crazy politician. Huh, kind of weird. Now, they acquire a spell book that's filled with dark magic and spells over the entire town. Okay, well, spells are quite a first thing, especially for Black Panther, because usually spells, when you think of spells, you immediately think of WandaVision or Doctor Strange. But it's interesting, so let's keep going. So, in follow ups of The Young Prince, T'Challa is a year older for one, they've told CBR, but the more confidence from his destiny. Now, he's had the supernatural from his last trip to the South and the South US. So yeah, he wanted to come to America again, but he couldn't have hope from the first book. Now there's so much for him that you want to know about Alabama. Food, language, civil rights history, all that, yo. So it's crazy. And Civil Rights Month is actually coming up pretty soon. Yeah. Alright. So it basically, is like very, 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 very like interesting type of stuff. But again, let's keep going. That's not all I'm gonna mention. There's gonna be more. Okay. Okay. We're gonna keep going. Keep going. Keep going. We're gonna keep going. Okay. So now we have news that a Twilight star wants to take vampires to the X-Men. Okay, this would be pretty cool. So, a Twilight star, we know Jackson Rathbone, has reflected his time of playing on Twilight, and he pitches this awesome idea about taking vampires to the X-Men. Now, if Kevin Feige was to introduce vampires to some point in Marvel Cinematic Universe, that would be pretty freaking cool. I mean, yeah, you're going to get Blade, but Morbius is a Sony owned property. So I honestly don't know. This is pretty interesting. So, okay, 2012 was the last entries of the Twilight series. Now, Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2 was the final chapter of Bella and Edward. Now, their romance was ensnared with the Cullens, finally making them, the vampire that we know today. But the never ending streams of reboots and revivals have debuted recently across the world, and no wonder why we see Stephanie Meyer is one of the best authors of 2005. Now, the Twilight Saga adapted this young adult fantasy, and it kind of went off. Like, it really just went off really well. So, yeah, so we grew he's so the actor Jasper who played Jasper Hale in Twilight, the movies from 2008 to 2012, the lifelong mate of another girl, Alice Cullen, the sister in the Cullen family. Okay, so they just said that they were comic book nerds. They were comic book nerds. They'd grown up on X-Men, and it would be really, really cool if they actually bring some X-Men elements with vampires. Okay, so if a vampire came to a comic book strip or into a movie or a series with the X-Men, that would be something that would be a fantastic setup for the future. Now, again, we kind of have some references to the House of M with the decimations of No More Mutants, which, again, was highly rumored to be a thing, but we don't know if that's happening either. But according to Twilight fans, vampires usually receive an additional unique superpower, and again, they create a bubble around their family and their social life. And in fact, Bella, she could kind of be compared to Scarlet Witch, believe it or not, because you can choose your own power and you can strip a population and start all over again. But you could actually catch up with the Twilight movies all on Peacock. Now, if you have a Peacock TV, you can just go on there and just hopefully just be able to catch up on your Twilight. But okay, so that didn't really help. Plus, it kind of hardly mentioned anything about X-Men. So let's just keep going. Now I like to try to decide to bring some more diversity to the YouTube channel, as you longtime subscribers probably might have already picked that up. Okay, so now we are going to see if there's something else we can explore. Okay. So now we're going to be talking about X-Men Red. Now, I do have to tell you guys, I have X-Men Blue. I have X-Men Blue, but I don't have X-Men Red. Now, eventually, at some day, I want to get X-Men Red, but right now I only have X-Men Blue. So, okay, so X-Men Red has Bring Wars to Mars and the hypes over the Omega level mutants. Okay, so the author, Ala Wing, has discussed the idea of X Men Red with a new series showcasing Storm's battle for the soul of Arakko. Now, this is 5 days ago, so it's kind of fairly fresh, but more should I say warm. It's a warm content. And 5 days or more would be warm. So, in any respects. So, in the Marvel Universe, guys, Earth's vast population of superpowered mutants, or just any superpower human, and cosmic battles, however, might change thanks to the mutant nations we know of Krakoa. Now, if you guys read the recent spans of the X-Men, you would know what the mutation of Krakoa is, because I mentioned it quite a bit of times on the channel. Okay, so it spanned over thousands of years of mutants, and they soon decide this idea about what they're going to do as far as colonizing the planet Mars. Okay, so what does this mean for Mars' new inhabitants, or the large galactic landscape? Well, since Mars is a neighbor in our solar system, there is the beg this question that Storm and several other mutants would want to explore Mars. Okay, so this new series of X Men Red will hit the stands in April. Just like everything else I said, every comic book is coming in April. Because April is going to be the huge comeback to comic books. Now, interviews with the artists have discussed this action packed series, the, the physiology, the ideologies, and more about Omega level mutants clashing and fighting toe to toe, and also X Men Red's extensive cast, including Storm, the Swords, Abigail Brand, Sunspot, Vulcan, and many others. It will be a continuation of the original X Men Red, so it's going to be a new continuation, a continuation upon an already existing story, but it will run through with the setup of Marvel Sword. Now, if you remember in WandaVision, there was reference that there was going to be eventually going to be the MCU Sword, which is probably going to be the next big group that or organization to be explored in Marvel Cinematic Universe. Because after all, Shield actually had went down after 2014. So 2014 was the last time you actually saw Shield and recent MCU. So now we go into the future, guys, because Sword is probably going to be the new Shield. Sword is the new Shield. I know, it's kind of weird. But additional to this, the courtesy of Marvel, the comic book resources page has gained lots of popularity with several new cover variants of X-Men Red, this new reboot of X-Men Red. And it's actually really cool. You can actually check all these photos down in this gallery that's down below this article. Now you just go, you search in the search box X-Men Red under the comic book resources and you'll find it. And it actually has a really, 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 really awesome photo of Magneto, the classic red Magneto. Now, Magneto is one of my favorite mutants. Now, he's kind of like been on and off. He's kind of like an anti-hero. Now, if you guys remember in the Secret Wars, he participated in the Secret Wars, and he was also, he's not only just the best friend of Charles, but he's basically like the closest Marvel arch nemesis to kind of like, like for example, like how Doctor Doom is like the arch nemesis, the close friend of Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic. Well, Magneto is kind of like the close friend, arch rival to Charles Xavier. But, that's just telling you something else. That's kind of just off and random. But okay, X Men Red has seen many things, including political dramas, espionage, intrigues, and action. It's a pulpy sci-fi story that's filtered to more contemporary lens of modern day readers. Now, if you're really like to be a modern day reader, this would probably be something to catch you up with. Now, noted, now, if you are caught up with X-Men, you would definitely want to explore the reboot of X-Men Red. Let me know your thoughts about that, and if you're going to pick up the new reboot of April X-Men Red. I think it's pretty possible that at some point it will become really liked again. I think, it's going to be really great when April comes and you have all these books. It's going to be like hit really hard when all these new books are going to get printed and published. It's going to be so awesome. So, okay. So, now some of you guys on my YouTube channel, some of you guys on my YouTube channel remember I've talked about Peach Momoko. Now, Peach Momoko is actually an artist that does anime, but she does anime for Marvel specifically. Now, Peach Momoko is an anime artist that basically is taken Marvel kind of to the anime sorts of ways. So X-Men Red gets variants from the anime artist Peach Momoko and others. Okay, there's actually a really cool picture done by Peach Momoko and her reimagining of what she thinks Storm looks like. So I think that's pretty cool. So we get exclusive looks and teases of variant covers from first issues of upcoming X-Men Red, which we just mentioned, the aforementioned thing. And again, Peach Momoko is going to take her own take on that as well. Not just Albie Wing, but Peach Momoko and other big hot trending artists. Okay, so yeah, it kind of just ties in exactly how the other stuff does. But yeah, okay. Let's go to do one more thing, and then I might wrap this up. It's like almost 7 o'clock. I might go up. I might. It's almost 7 o'clock. My mom's probably gonna go leave to work soon. So I have something I'm doing later today, but I have to be mindful of the time because I have a job interview. I have a job interview to McDonald's. Yeah, I know. Kind of weird, right? A 24-year-old like me applying to McDonald's really need it right now. So I need to have the free food. That's what I really want. I want the free food. I want the discount. The discount. That'd be really cool. Um, Also, my best friend I knew from 2018. He works at the east. He works on the east side. He was on the east side. He works on the east side McDonald's. Yeah. Okay. We are really just trying to figure out what type of stuff there is. But Comic Book Resources basically has like the biggest archive of anything you want to see with comic books. Now, now, now I'm going to be talking about what people thought about the Marvel Wastelanders first issue of Black Widow. Now, Marvel Wastelanders Black Widow #1. What are people's thoughts about this? Okay, so now Wastelanders takes a new tale with Black Widow with an older yet indomitable Yelena Belova, carrying on the legacy of Natasha Romanoff, her sister that died in Endgame, from the Wastelands. You can listen to the podcast on Pandora or Spotify or SiriusXM or really just anywhere that has a podcast. Okay, so Yelena Belova has a dangerous possession for pretty much any target anywhere. I don't know why the heck that's playing. Stupid advertisements. One thing I hate about websites is it always fucking has advertisements. I don't fucking know how to turn it off. What the fuck? Okay. Now that's really fucking weird. Now every once in a while, like I'd be like in the middle of talking, and then like I'd be on like CBR or sometimes a website, and I'd get like this weird video playing or some shit. But okay, but what we were saying was Yelena Belova has a dangerous possession of her target everywhere she goes. She's trained by the Red Room, was the second person to take the Black Widow mantle, and again she is she's died, been shot at, and experimented from legacy of Marvel Universe. Though her cunning adaptability has saved her from past, the Wastelands takers are on a different story. The Wastelands brings vicious gangs and deranged villains through the arid terrain that is hard to navigate. Now that's with all the Wasteland stories, not just that one. But now when that story arrived, there was many people that really thought different about it. Now it's all dystopian, but again, if you like dystopian genre, this is definitely something you check out. Okay, Wastelanders Black Widow #1 by Stephen S. D. Knight and artwork by others opens with her trying to rescue her lover from the clutches of Lizard King. Now, any any villain with name Lizard King directly kind of connects to the Ninja Turtles, kind of, kind of. But okay, so Yelena has been alone since day one. Now, again, Baron Zemo has disguised as a citizen and has killed her mentor and her friend in a dangerous excursion by supervillains. To survive, she had to be as ruthless and crush everything from her paths, including some innocent people. Wow, that's really sad. Now, to get her goal years later, she has to find love and companionship again in the most unexpected places. Will she save her loved ones in time? Well, I don't know. It's a really good question. But highlights key moments of her life on the atrocious wasteland. Now, it creates an immersive tale and determines what what does not let her age slow down to save the world. Now, Wastelanders is a mini series, guys. You can also do Wolverine and Hawkeye, and also you can do other Wasteland series too. But it's interjected to the forms of first person narratives, and it has a cut take of takeaways from reader attention to crucial moments that add detail to the tale. Now the illustrations have grittiness and has gruesomeness. Now if you write gritty and gruesome books, now I talked about Frank Miller just the other day. So if you check out my other YouTube video, I talked about him just recently, actually, on another discussion. Well, let's keep going. So this character gave a gruesome transformation, and this story that we're talking about takes two different styles to represent the past and the now. It filters out the panels of flashbacks to denote the memories by dark covers from the present, or the now, and it dimly lights the corridors and flat shadows that evoke this sense of fear to the reader. Now, okay, guys. So, yeah, the deep rush narrative is pretty awesome. Now, it has horror and mystery, and it kind of has spy type stuff, which is a juicy combination. And it's suspenseful. Yes, it's suspenseful. Wasteland themed stories portray far darker than their predecessor, and their most surprising entries in the universe because of the reintroduction to Old Man Logan, because we know Hugh Jackman had finally gave up and he died in his movie Logan. Now, again, you can comment about that if you want as well. But okay, so now seeing the wizard in the Wastelander series is actually pretty freaking cool, which wouldn't be a villain I would never suspected would be there. But in the dystopian world, anything can happen and anyone can be there. Just whoever can live off, what's left of the wasteland is lucky enough as it is. Okay, guys, so this is just another quick live stream for you guys. Let me know your thoughts. Right now I was also simultaneously playing the 1980s game show by Nickelodeon Double Dare. I've been trying to finish up the first season, but it's really, 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 really long. But yeah. So anyway, guys, this is a little bit longer than my other discussion or live stream. So I wanted to try to fit in some juicy type of stuff into the discussion today. Well, I don't know yet on how or if I'm going to be doing a stuff or not. I'm not sure if I'm going to be posting something later this evening. I'm probably going to post something later this evening. I don't know. Depends on how things go with my McDonald's interview. Depends on if I get hired at McDonald's, and depends on how that goes. And on my next live stream, I'll tell you more about how that went. And so, on a side note, guys, I hope you have a wonderful, 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 wonderful Monday, because it is Monday. And I'll see you guys around a little later. Or should I say, I hope to see you guys a little later. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.